Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my F1 23 MyTeam career mode. This is part 45 here in Bahrain. If you did miss the last episode, it was a Max Verstappen win in Saudi Arabia and ourselves did not have a great race. We were trying to get into the pits to make our pit stop and we had a crash with Lando Norris and that caused extensive damage to our vehicle and we weren't able to claim any points, and neither was our teammate Alex Albon. So a very disappointing weekend for the team, not claiming any points whatsoever. So now we take a look here at the R&D chart. So it's McLaren and Red Bull up the front there. They're very close together. And then looking further back, just a little bit there, it's Ferrari, Mercedes, and Aston Martin all very close together. And for ourselves, we've closed in on Haas, so we're making good progress against them. But very surprisingly, Alpine is also catching up to us here in the R&D, so they could be quite the threat coming into these last few races if they're able to get the car qualified far enough ahead. They've had little glimpses in their qualifying sessions getting towards the front, but then haven't been able to convert it into the race pace to be able to claim those points to get them that further up in the constructors standings. As now we come to the end of our race strategy program here, we've had to use the first 2 laps to get ourselves a bit up to speed, but once we've been up to speed, we've been pretty consistent there and putting the car P3 at the moment here in practice and getting the purple result in the end for our race strategy here. Is now we go onto our fuel saving. It's been very close there, as you can see, just on the edge of getting a purple, and we are sitting in the purple, coming down the straight, just using a bit too much fuel, and it's going to slip down into the green just slightly there. Currently sitting P6 in this practice session, so we will have to try and get that one done again, as now this is our final practice program for this session. It's going to be the tyre wear, and it is looking very promising. Very good lap time and a very good tyre wear, so hopefully we can go for a bit of a more aggressive strategy if we need to use it later on in this race. And there is the Alpine, currently sitting P6, so definitely the Alpine is looking like it's got some good pace. They're also sitting P7 and P8 at the end of this practice session. Verstappen, Russell, and Perez, your top 3 fastest. Ourselves P19, P20 on the medium and the hard tyre, so hopefully we can get ourselves a bit further up the field as we get into qualifying now. And those Alpines are definitely looking like they've got some more pace coming into this race, so it will be interesting to see if even if it's just Alex Albon that's able to battle him. I'm hoping I can get myself towards the front in this race. We are desperate for some points to try and keep our Drivers' Championship hopes alive. As now we come to the end of our first qualifying lap here. We hit the DRS smack bang on time, and it's going to put us P2. We're currently 0.2 of a second down on George Russell. As we now come to the end of our next flying lap here, we've had to actually put on a fresh set of tyres here, and that is going to put us P7 there. Our teammate Alex Albon sitting P8 at the moment as well, so both of us are seeming to be doing pretty good here, and we're trying to go for another fast lap, but all the cars coming out of the pit lane, and we get blocked at turn 1 by Liam Lawson, so I wonder if he's going to possibly get a penalty for impeding us there. Definitely something's happened there with Sergio Perez. He's received a penalty, but anyways, it's Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Oscar Piastri, your top 3 here in qualifying 1. Alex Albon P9, and then in the end, because I couldn't get a lap time in, I've dropped down to P13, so definitely looks like that getting laps in late is going to be the keys. Max Verstappen goes fastest, and we're trying to get another lap in, and we've lost it on the exit of turn 11, and we're millimeters from hitting the wall as Valtteri Bottas goes P1 at the moment. So that Alpine is absolute rocket at the moment, and the R&D charts are not lying at all. And now it may say we're 12 seconds up, but that's just because this is going to be our first complete lap. And where is that going to put us? That's going to put us P11, so we have to find some more pace. We cannot get into Q3 sitting P11. We hit the curb at the final corner, and that is going to ruin a little bit of time here. And we're going to only go 1.5 seconds faster getting a proper lap in, and once again here hitting the curb, and that is going to absolutely ruin the run onto the main straight. We've set a purple middle sector, so this should be a pretty good lap here. We're currently sitting P4. We stay P4, 0.3 of a second down on Oscar Piastri, but it wasn't good enough. We have been knocked out here in qualifying 2. Sainz, Norris, and Piastri, your top 3 in qualifying 2, but myself and our teammate both knocked out.
It started as a day race, now it runs at night. Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit, and welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Leclerc, Verstappen, Ocon, Gasly, Liam Lawson, Perez, the Rainmaster, Albon, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Joe, Magnussen, Sargent, Drugovich, Stroll, Iwasa, Sonoda, and Nick de Vries. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
And now taking a look here at the strategy for this Grand Prix. I said before in the practice program, I reckon we can go aggressive here with our strategy, with how good our tyre wear was. But I'm still going to go for the alternate strategy here, the soft tyre to the hard tyre. I reckon that hard tyre is going to prove to be quite worth it. As you remember, just throughout this entire series, the hard tyre has definitely been the more favourable tyre to be on than the medium tyre. And looking around, not many people have actually gone on the soft. So everyone behind me is currently on the soft from what I can tell. But that is to be expected. A few people in front of us, all on the mediums. So hopefully we can get a much better start than the people around us. I mainly want to dispatch Liam Lawson pretty quickly if I can. He is pretty much the outlier at the moment in that Haas. As now, we're sitting on the grid. The lights are coming out. It is 5 red lights, and we're off. Sergio Perez has had an absolute shocker start. We've had an absolute brilliant start. So has Liam Lawson. That was Ocon also with an absolute shocker. Pierre Gasly is currently stuck in the middle of Liam Lawson and George Russell. They're 3 wide going into turn 1. We're going to hug the inside to try and see if we can't find a spot anyway. And now we go 3 wide there on the pinch there of turn 2. And now we're trying to find our way past Liam Lawson and Pierre Gasly. Yeah, I said I want to get past Liam Lawson, and so we're going to go for a dive on the both of them into turn 4 here. And we're going to get the move done very nicely, actually. There was a bit of wheel banging there, but that's to be expected when everything is still all cold. That's now coming on to the start of lap 2 here. This is a change for the lead here. Oscar Piastri looking to go around the outside of his teammate here at turn 1. And he's going to get the inside for turn 2. And it looks like Norris is going to get the better exit, but Oscar Piastri, with the help of some ERS, I bet as well, with the slipstream, he's going to be able to pull out, go to the inside at turn 4. And is this going to be the job done for the Australian to get himself up into the lead of the Grand Prix? It is. The 2 McLaren switch places, Piastri leading from Lando Norris. And now, a bit of an order check here after the first few laps. Oscar Piastri leads on McLaren 1-2 with Norris sitting second. Then it's Ferrari 3-4. Sainz from Leclerc, Max Verstappen, ourselves P6. Liam Lawson, Pierre Gasly, George Russell, Nico Hulkenberg rounding out the final points paying position at the moment. And then it's Esteban Ocon, Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez, Zhou Guanyu, Logan Sargent, the 2 Williams of Ayumu Iwasa and Felipe Drugovich, Kevin Magnussen, Stroll in P19, Yuki Tsunoda and our teammate P21, and Nick de Vries P22 at the moment sitting last on the road. And there's a green flag, meaning there must be some sort of incident behind me as we now come towards the end of lap 4, and it is Logan Sargent is out of this Grand Prix. As now we take a look here of the replay of what's happening down this back straight here. He's got the DRS open, and it seems, I don't know what's happened there. There's no telltale smoke to say that it was an engine failure, so he's had some sort of issue there to force him to retire the car. As now Carlos Sainz is making a move here on Lando Norris to try and get himself up in P2. He's going to go around the outside at turn 1, inside for turn 2, outside for turn 3. And is he going to be able to get the move done here? Lando Norris has actually got the DRS onto the second DRS zone, but Sainz is going to have to keep it around the outside if he's going to keep this position, or try and take this position from Lando Norris, and he's going to get the position taken, and that makes him up into P2 now. As Norris is looking to get himself back past Carlos Sainz very quickly, using some DRS now. He's going to get himself past in the braking zone going into turn 1, and that is a move done to get himself back up into P2. As now, looking behind a bit now, this is Nico Hulkenberg. He's under attack from Esteban Ocon. Is he going to be able to defend this position, or is the Mercedes going to be able to get past? Remember, the Aston Martin is still running a Mercedes power unit in this series, and that is going to be Ocon now up into P10. And this is Carlos Sainz. He's having another crack now at Lando Norris. This time he's going to go to the outside. He's tried the inside. Now he's trying the outside. Is he going to be able to get the move done? At the moment, he's doing better than last time. He's still able to keep it side by side at the moment, but Norris is going to get the better exit. And surely this would give Carlos Sainz the DRS. And it doesn't. Lando Norris has still got the DRS. And he is going to get boxed in now by his teammate. Is Charles Leclerc going to get a move done on Carlos Sainz? And he is. That's Charles Leclerc now up into P3. He's now behind. This looks like an absolute massive battle here between, what's that, a Mercedes Alpine and a Haas. So very interesting battle here. So now we take a replay of what's going to happen here. So it's George Russell. He's kind of got like a double slipstream going on here. There's the Haas there of Liam Lawson, and I believe that's the Alpine of Valtteri Bottas. Also battling there. They're currently 3 wide, as George Russell gets a pretty good run going on there. On board now with Liam Lawson. Now he's similar to what's happened just before. He's kind of not really boxed in, but he can't really do anything. He doesn't have that slipstream to try and help him. As the Alpine now, Pierre Gasly, I actually reckon it was in the end, as Ocon's looking to further himself up this order by trying to get past Liam Lawson to get himself up into P9. He's not going to be able to get it done at the final corner, but hopefully here with some DRS, he doesn't even get to the DRS zone to pull out, to try and get past here. And it looks like he's going to have the straight line speed to possibly get past Liam Lawson, but it looks like Lawson's actually a little bit better under the brakes there. He's able to keep it side by side there, going into turn 1, but surely Ocon, with that Mercedes power unit, is going to be able to get himself past, and he does, and get himself up into P9. And now very quickly he's caught up to the back of Pierre Gasly, and using some DRS here, he's going to pretty much get the move done before they even reach the braking zone, and that is going to be a very easy overtake to get himself now up into P8. And next on his target list is going to be his teammate George Russell in P7, as Nico Hulkenberg is looking to get himself now up into the points, and that is going to get himself into P10 past Liam Lawson. Lawson now outside of the points, so no Haas cars anymore in the points. As now we do a bit of another order check here. Oscar Piastri leads a McLaren 1-2, Norris in second, Charles Leclerc leads a Ferrari 3-4, with Carlos Sainz in fourth. It is Max Verstappen, then ourselves in P6. The 2 Mercedes of George Russell and Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Nico Hulkenberg rounding out the points-paying positions. Then it's Liam Lawson, Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez, Zhou Guanyu, the 2 Williams of Felipe Drugovich and Ayumu Iwasa, then Yuki Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, the Sauber of Stroll, our teammate Alex Albon P20, and Nick DeVries, the final car on the track at the moment, sitting P21, as Oscar Piastri now comes into the pit lane. So the pit window is very well underway here, as we're going to follow him in, actually, and to try and get it off of these soft tyres, and we're going to try and see if we can't pump out some good laps here on the hard tyres. These tyres were starting to go off quite massively. I was losing the rear end quite often. Now, even though we don't have a tyre weight indication at the moment, so I wonder if I was just maybe overheating the tyres there. You can see on the steering wheel, the rears especially were over 100 degrees Celsius, so they were definitely nice and hot. So maybe I was just starting to overheat the tyres before the wear actually started to kick in, or going through a bit of a graining stage of the tyres, and just wanted to get off those, as Oscar Piastri immediately is trying to dispatch here Zhou Guanyu to get himself back inside the points. Remember, a lot of the cars ahead of him, pretty much all the cars ahead of him, still have to pit. So, and he's on the medium tyres actually, so he's going for a bit of a different strategy. As Sergio Perez nearly loses it going down the main straight, pulling out of the slipstream from Liam Lawson. So this is him trying to get into P8 here, getting past Liam Lawson. Lawson's so much better under the brakes going into turn 1 against everyone here, and he's nearly been able to defend here from Sergio Perez, and he has defended from Sergio Perez, and Perez hasn't been able to get through. But now with that Red Bull powertrain, he's going to pull to the inside and get the move done. Is he going to get the move done at turn 4? It looks like Lawson's going to get the better exit, and Lawson, very well done, is going to defend from the Red Bull. As now, this is Oscar Piastri. He's not waiting any time to get past the Red Bull here, so he's going to make a very similar move to he did with Zhou Guanyu up at turn 11, and that is going to be him further up the field here. As now for ourselves, we've been trying to pump out these fast laps, and it is showing. We've set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and we have jumped Max Verstappen. So the driver will try to chase down for the first half of this race. We managed to chase him down through the pit stop phase. He nearly tries to send it down the inside of us going into turn 1 as he was coming outside of the pits, but it hasn't quite worked out for him. It's now Carlos Sainz, who we've actually also managed to jump. I reckon we were behind him as well. He's now trying to get himself past Max Verstappen. So Verstappen's jumped Sainz. We've jumped Sainz. Sainz has lost out massively through this pit stop phase. They're going to go side by side as they come up now into turn 4. Who's going to be able to get this done? It's going to be Carlos around the outside. And it looks like he might be able to keep it around the outside here. It looks like he's got the exit. They're going to stay side by side as now they come through the S sections of turn 5, 6, and 7. And through turn 7, Max Verstappen is going to get quite the slide going, and that's going to give Carlos Sainz the position. As now, this is Esteban Ocon. He's coming for his pit stop. He's slapped on the hard tyres, and now he is looking to get a move on Valtteri Bottas to get himself now up into P9. And Valtteri is not going to make it easy for him. He's going to keep his nose there, but unfortunately can't quite keep it there to defend. And now Ocon making more moves. This is going to be him getting past Nico Hulkenberg to get himself up into P8. And once again, he now finds himself behind his teammate. But he's lost a lot of ground to his teammates. Now back on board with ourselves here. We're chasing down Charles Leclerc. He's only 1.2 seconds up the road. As now Sergio Perez is out of the Grand Prix. This is not good news for us because we've got worn components coming into the last few races this season. And if even the Red Bulls, the lead team of the Red Bull power engines, can't get their cars to the end, as he actually nearly wipes out the Haas there while he was having an engine failure. If they can't make it to the end, I'm not too confident if we can make it to the end on the components that we've currently got, as now Pierre Gasly is battling with his teammate Valtteri Bottas, and Gasly is going to come out on top here, and he's going to claim P10, the final points paying position, back on board with ourselves here. Carlos Sainz has caught up to us. Charles Leclerc's checked out. I really thought we might be on for a podium, but Leclerc's fully checked out now. He's nearly 3 seconds up the road. We're actually going to let Carlos Sainz through. He was going to go around the outside of us anyways, but we're going to slam on the brakes and get ourselves the DRS. So then hopefully we can stay with him, and he's actually not going as fast as I thought. He has dragged us closer to Charles Leclerc. Well, he's only 1.3 seconds ahead of us, and so now we're going to use this to try and get this momentum, to try and get ourselves closer to Charles Leclerc. And it's kind of working. It's hovering around about the 1.2, 1.3 second difference at the moment between ourselves and Charles Leclerc. But Carlos Sainz just won't leave us alone. He keeps trying to get this P4 away from us. But I don't think he realizes that we can work together and try and get to his teammate. I'm sure he would love to beat Charles Leclerc, who's also in that Ferrari. And I just don't think he understands that battling us is going to help at all. It's now coming onto the final lap here. Once again, Sainz is going to be battling us, but it's going to be Oscar Piastri. He's going to lead home. And McLaren 1-2 here in Bahrain. We've managed to successfully defend from Carlos Sainz here to claim P4.
That's a fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure, and no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight.
Well, there we have it. It is a McLaren 1-2 here in Bahrain. McLaren have been very well on form for the last 2 seasons here in this F1 23 MyTeam career mode. It was a good race for ourselves as well, getting ourselves up into P4. I really thought a podium was on there for a second, but didn't quite get to it in the end. But we'll take a P4 on those chunk of points. Is now taking a look at the rest of the top 10 here. So myself, P4, Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Esteban Ocon, Nico Hulkenberg, and Pierre Gasly rounds out the points. And unfortunately for our teammate, he's had an absolute shocker of a race, finishing down in P17, and that was all from the start. And Sergio Perez, Logan Sargent, our 2 non-finishers. As now we take a look at the drivers' standings at the moment. So Lando Norris leads it by 20 points over Max Verstappen. Oscar Piastri third, 30 points behind. Myself sitting fourth, 53 points behind. And our teammate Alex Albon sitting 10th, 151 points behind in the Drivers' Championship. Is now taking a look at the constructors. So it's McLaren leading the way by 43 points to Red Bull Racing. Ferrari sitting third, 151 points behind. And Brabham, we find ourselves fourth, 174 points behind in the championship. So our Constructors' Championship well and truly over, but hopefully we can gain something in the Drivers' Championship still. As now back in the HQ, we have got a interesting dilemma here. Should Alex Albon be attending the engine meetings? I reckon so, yes. I reckon Alex really needs to be attending these meetings if we want to try and get our last couple of upgrades for these final few races to try and help me in the Drivers' Championship, and we really need him to be getting back inside the top 10 quite regularly. He's had a bit of a slump, similar to what Sergio Perez had last season in real life in 2023. As now, here in the durability, our MGH failure analysis hasn't worked. So if I want our car to stay together for these last few races, and the Red Bull is proving that is going to be quite a difficult task, I need this to work. So we're going to try it again, and hopefully it works by the time we get to the next episode. And that is going to be all. So if you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode where we go back to America and we take on Texas. See ya.